Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. As promised, I'm coming to you live again for a little training on Host Packets 101. And this is going to be for cooking show hosts as well as virtual show host. I think it's very important. Even though you're doing a virtual party, you definitely want to treat the host no differently than a cooking show. It is really adds value to your relationship and keeps them telling everybody, how I had this extravagant, wonderful, exciting virtual party. I love a cooking show, but sometimes it just doesn't work for everybody's schedule. So let me just share with you some things that I do for my cooking shows. And this one is strictly for cooking shows. First off, I buy this type of envelope. You can get them on Amazon. This one actually came from the Dollar General store. So it's just like a plastic envelope that's got a snap closure. I think is wonderful. Well, it snaps. It keeps everything in there. And I've just made a label. I don't know if I can get that to you. I don't know if I can get that to see where it's got like my name and information like that. And I've just affixed that on the front of it. So the goodness is inside the host packet. And for those of you that have seen this before or a past host of mine, you will remember some of this stuff. So I have done this for years. I can't get this out of the thing. The static electricity has got it. But I just find it's a really easy, neat way. I don't want to overload them with all kinds of paperwork and all that stuff. But there is some critical information. If you have a business card, you want to put that in the very front of it. So when they pull out their packet, they're going to have this neat stack, I hope, because, I like my things like that. So I have my business card on top. You can get them at Vistaprint, Pampered Chef, create your own, however you want to do it. It's not necessary, but I have them, so that's what I use. You also want to give them the Life Tastes Great Kit Credit Coupon. This is the old one, but it's what I had copies of. You can find them on Consultants Corner under the show planning materials. They come 3 to a page, and I highly recommend to put that in there because it's going to give you an opportunity to talk to your host about the business opportunity. Secondly, the Life Tastes Great brochure. You definitely want this in there. Have your information, where's that? Over here. You want to make sure you put your information on everything. Those are the things I put in there for recruiting materials. Now, if you want, you can put in the new consultant special. Sometimes when I'm making my host packets up, they're for the next month, so we don't know what the recruiting special is. So I just let them know when I'm talking to them. If they're interested, if I think they might be interested, and I might slip it in there if I've got a copy, but I always tell them about it. So nextly, I put in the invitations. I still send them a pack of invitations, whether they use them or not. I give them several different ways they need to invite people, not just on Facebook, not just by word of mouth, but I think a good combination of Facebook, word of mouth, email, text message, phone call. Pick this guy up and make the phone call. You need to tell your host to do that. But put the invitations in there. And usually they actually go behind this next thing. The show planner that they have on Consultants Corner. You can actually use the show planner folder if you want to. You can buy them on the supplies list. I just had plenty of these, so I just do this. I print it front and back, and I also make sure it's in color. I know that color ink, costs a little bit more, but it makes things kind of pop. Now this one is not filled out because I don't know my host yet. But if I'm making up a host packet after I've booked a show, then you can actually go into, when you're printing these on Consultants Corner, you can put in all that information for your host. So I think that's a really good idea because that show URL line, I'm glad it's 2 because I write big. No matter how small I write, I can't do it. So I will print them up. But if not, I'll just handwrite them and give that to my host as well. You always want to make sure you have the new consultant, that month's host special. This is April, so it's the 60% off of anything. And on the back, because I'm a paper saver, I go ahead and just print the guest special. So I want to go ahead and give them that information, even though they're going to see it virtually and I'm going to tell them about it, I think it's still important for them to go, oh, what is that we've got? You know, what's the special? A lot of people still like to read it. I give them 2 or 3 catalogs. So it all just kind of depends. I always make sure the host gets 1 catalog for themselves to write all over, to mark up, to everything. This one actually only had 2 in it, but there's probably by the time it's mailed, it's going to have 3. But this is one that came out of my show bag. So if she booked at a show, she keeps her 1 catalog from the party, and I give her 2 more. So they're going to get 3 catalogs. Then this is really cool. The outside order form, I only put 1 in there. They can make copies. But I don't know if you can see this or not. I created this. This was something on Consultant's Corner, but you can go in and edit it. So I've got my host name and the online order information. I go ahead and pre-fill the tax, the shipping, and the who to make the checks out to at the bottom. I don't know why I just put the host name on there. I generally put my name on there because I just have them make them out to me. But so that's what I do for my my cooking shows. Put that on there. So let me tell you about my virtual parties. They're pretty simple. I send them an envelope. And actually, let me tell you what I just got from Amazon. So hold on just a second. These are so cool, and they're very inexpensive. It's a poly envelope, and it's perfect for the catalog and whatever other information, if I can get it in here. Because when you're making mailers out of the poly material, you want to make sure that your information is not slipping around because it has a tendency it could rip. I'm going to put my catalog in there, and it's a pretty lavender purple color. I wanted something that would pop and it wasn't too busy. But this is what I'm going to be using. They just came in the mail yesterday. I got a pack of them of 100 for $8. And I'm like, I bought a pack of there's a hair in my face. It's driving me crazy. I bought a pack of 5 of these at the dollar store for $2. You do the math. So Amazon, cheap, shipped right here. I'm getting all my office supplies off of Amazon this year because you know why? At the end of the year, I can go run me an Amazon report and I'm going to have all my office supplies right there. Now, there are going to be some that I'm going to get when I'm out and about. But you can also buy these on Amazon too. So when I run out or run low, these are going to be ordered off of Amazon. I learned that from another director friend of mine. But so back to the virtual parties. Send them 2 catalogs. You want them to have 1 catalog for themselves, and you want another one for them to put in their pocketbook, as my husband says. I call it a purse, tote bag, whatever, in their car, front seat, I don't know, wherever you want to say. But one for them to carry around, and tell them, when they're at the bank, they can pass that around, and then they'll have to give it back. So you want to make sure you don't give them 20, 30 catalogs because you just spend a whole lot of money. And they're going to want to get that book back. Plus, most of the information is going to be virtual anyway. So, also, I've got a mess now since I pulled my new envelopes out that I'm so excited about. But back in my virtual packet, I'm too going to also put a Pampered Chef checklist. But there is a virtual one now. Did I say that right? Virtual. If you have all done your virtual party pack training, you will have access to the virtual party pack checklist for hosts. So I think that's really cool. So it will be a different one than this, similar information, but geared for a virtual party. They're also going to get, of course, my business card. They too are going to get a Life Tastes Great Kit Credit coupon and a Life Tastes Great brochure, because I'm asking everybody. If you're not asking every one of your hosts to join your team, you are missing the boat. Because I would really like to see a show of hands, and you can do that little girl that raises her hand, or you can just do me. Who are all my past hosts turned new consultants? So I'm really excited about that. I used to not do that. So, and now I thought, well, it's silly for me to be taking advantage of everything that Pampered Chef has to offer. So I turn it around and I offer it to you guys. And I think that's really important. So if you're not asking your host and anybody else in the Facebook group or your live cooking show, then you could be doing yourself and them a disservice by not doing that. But that's training for another day. But I just wanted to throw that at you. but that's why I put them in there, and you want to make sure you do that as well. Okay, so back to that. Those 3 items, you want to have the host special and the guest special also in there because people like paper. They want to see things. The 2 catalogs, and go ahead and put them in outside order form because their grandmother or their elderly next door neighbor, they might want some pampered chef, but they may not be on Facebook. They may not have an email. They may not even have a computer or a phone that has internet service. So, you can still process orders for the new consultants that are out there. You can still process orders manually. I mean, just because it's on Facebook and it's virtual doesn't mean all the orders have to go through online. Us consultants can still put their orders in. So those are the few things that I put in my host packets. So I just thought I would share that information. And if you have questions about Amazon or anything like that, I'm not an expert. I just started using Amazon a year ago. I mean, I ordered a little bit here and there, but as far as office supplies, but like I said, a fellow director had mentioned that, and I thought, oh, you know how hard it is at the end of the year to try to come up with all the tax documentation, and I found a box of receipts that I'd completely missed. So hopefully I got a lot of them off my check register, but for the most part, I missed several. So hopefully this new Amazon way of doing things is going to get Cheryl a little bit more organized in 2018, and I will be happy to share with you all that information. But anyway, I hope this was beneficial to you, and I'm excited to work on our next week's presentation for you guys very soon. And have a wonderful and blessed week. I will talk to you guys soon, and be sure not to forget to raise your hand if you are a consultant that was once one of my hosts. Thanks, guys. See you later.